Hey BookTube, welcome back. I'm Winx, and the ink I'm talking about today is my June TBR, as well as a general reading update. To start off, there are two books which I finished reading last week, the first of which is After the Crown by K.B. Wagers, and this book is the sequel to Behind the Throne. Behind the Throne you may recognize because I sent that out in the spring book bath box, and it is an epic book. I loved it, but I might even like the second book better than the first. It was fantastic. And I did a buddy read on this one with my girlfriend Jess, which, yes, that does mean there will be a new episode of Books with Bae coming soon. This one we are going to try to make spoiler free so more of you can enjoy it, and we'll be talking about both books in the series so far. The second book I finished last week is an epic tome, and that is Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb, which is the final book in the Tawny Man trilogy. I wasn't actually planning on reading this book for a while. I thought I would take a little break between the second and third book, but then I went to a book signing with Robin Hobb and I just had to get back in the world. So I started in on this one, and as soon as I did, I just could not stop reading it. I could not put it down and just tore through this giant chunk of a book. It's so good. I had so many emotions, as is normal for a Robin Hobb book. I'm not going to say too much because it's the final book in the third trilogy in her World of the Elderling, so there's not much to say that isn't spoilery, except that it's just awesome. So awesome, so good. I love all of her books. Moving on to my June TBR and what I'm currently reading. So first I have a graphic novel, which is volume 4 of the Jem the Holograms series. I read volume 3 a couple weeks ago, and it just reminded me how much I love this series. It's the perfect graphic novel. I just love it. So as soon as I finished volume 3, I ordered volume 4 and it showed up, so I'm really excited to finally dive into this one. Then I'm also starting in on a sci-fi book, which is Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie. This is actually a reread for me, but only slightly. So when this first came out, I think about 4 years ago, it was one of the monthly picks for the Sword and Laser book club / podcast, and I really enjoyed that one, so I picked it up. But I picked up an audiobook of it, and I don't feel like I really was able to pay as close of attention to the book. I wasn't listening super closely, and I think because of that, a lot of the details of the world just went totally by me. I do remember that I really enjoyed the world building. There are some really cool societal constructs in this world that Ann Leckie has created. There are some really interesting characters, but I think the world is complex enough that I personally really need to read it in physical copy or on a Kindle so that I can absorb all of the tiny details of this complex world properly. So I don't even really remember too much about the plot because it has been several years since I read it, and ever since I read it I've been meaning to reread it in a physical form. So I'm really excited to finally be doing that, and I'm going to buddy read this one with Jess as well, so hopefully we will be talking about this in a future episode of Books with Bae. Then I have one other sci-fi pick for the month, which is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is the sequel to The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which I read recently and really, really loved. I do plan on still making a part review, part vlog video for that. I was vlogging as I was reading it, but then I got a little bit too caught up in the story and forgot to stop and vlog, probably at the points at which it would have been most interesting for me to stop and vlog, but yeah, can't be helped, I didn't do it. So I do have some vlog clips that I did make, and I plan on sort of meshing those in with an actual just regular review, and we'll see how that turns out. So yeah, I do plan on still doing that, and I'm really excited to pick up with the series again and see what happens in the second book. Then I also have two fantasy picks for the month, the first of which is from my May TBR, and that is Within the Sanctuary of Wings by Marie Brennan. This is the final book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series, which I really enjoy, and I've been really excited to get into this one. As I mentioned in my last reading update, I started this one and then ended up putting it down and just wasn't in the headspace to come back to it yet. I'm hoping to pick this one back up this month and see how the series wraps up. I also heard something from Elizabeth from Books and Pieces that there's some major twist in this book. I don't know if it's a good twist or if it's a bad twist, but it made me extra curious to find out, so we will see. And part of why I wasn't feeling as into Within the Sanctuary of Wings last month is because I went and got to see Robin Hobb at her book signing, and it just made me want to read epic fantasy instead of fantasy of manners, so I've been really in the headspace for Robin Hobb style epic fantasy. And hence, the second fantasy book on my TBR for June is Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb, which is the first book in her Rainwild Chronicles series. It sounds like this series will pick up threads from both the ends of the Lightship Traders trilogy and the Tawny Man trilogy, which Tawny Man is the one that I just finished. So I'm really excited to see what is going on in the Rainwilds and with the dragons and Bingtown Traders and all these things. It's gonna be good, I can tell. So yeah, hopefully I will get started on this, but I'm probably going to try to wait until the end of the month for this one because it will most likely make me want to just read Robin Hobb and nothing else. And those are all of my main picks for June. I'm very excited about this month. I think it's going to be a really epic reading month. I have some really prime choices here, and I think, yeah, it's going to be good. So let me know down in the comments what you guys are reading this month and if you've read any of the books that I mentioned and what you think about them. Be sure to keep an eye out because I have some really cool videos coming up soon that I'm really excited about. Also, I might have a podcast in the works, so I'm not going to say too much, but keep an eye out for more information on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I hope you're all having a fabulous start to the week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!